Hello, everybody. We're here at State of Art Academy number 7, and I'm having the pleasure to host here the guys from FOSTER+PARTNERS, Panos and Gamma. So to kick it off, a little bit of an introduction, who you are, how you came to work in FOSTERS.
Hello, thank you to Chaos Group and State of Art Academy for inviting us to be here. So I'm Panos, I head of production at FOSTER+PARTNERS, visualization team. I've been at the team for 10 years in January. When I first started, it was 7 people and just doing sort of still images and the occasional animation. And now we're 25 people doing 5 different disciplines, and there's a big production pipeline in place now. So that's been a development while I've been there.
Hi, I'm Gamma Basra. I head up the visualization team. Myself and Jonathan Cox, who's head of film. I started the team probably 20 years ago. I've been with the office for about 24 years now. Started in Hong Kong on the Hong Kong airport as a CAD technician, and then grown on to develop the team, as Panos said, from the still images. And as we've grown, we've found a need for more moving images and motion design, and using all these tools to help us communicate our designs.
Cool. So there's a lot of history among you two. So tell me, I mean, we see work being done for FOSTERS by other companies, so still images and animations, but then there's you, the team, which is in-house. So how come you're not doing everything for FOSTERS, and what kind of special insight do you have, having the advantage of being always there, seeing all the work and growing from, like you told, from 7 to 25 people over this span of time?
Yeah, we'd love to do all the work ourselves. It's just literally the amount of images that we're doing. I mean, when we first started doing it, 1 or 2 images would be done on a project for the life cycle of that project. But now, for every meeting, there are images required. So, we literally, we have about over 100 projects on site, ongoing. So that's not including competitions and other projects that we're doing. So, that's just the sheer numbers. But also, and I think it's really important to actually have an insight into other people doing images as well, because you learn and you understand how other people work. So sometimes you actually gain knowledge by using external people.
Yeah, so the numbers of jobs are quite a lot, as Gamma said, and we can't just triple, quadruple our team to make up the numbers. It would just be obscene. So that's part of the reason why we go external a lot. And over the years, we collaborate more with the external companies. We either help them out with the models up to a certain stage, give them the backplate, they just do the Photoshop. We do the camera paths for animations, because sometimes we'd give the Chinese companies just a model and then here's a storyboard, but then what we get back is their idea of the cameras, and it's not what the Europeans or our clients would prefer. So then we have full control of the cameras and we give them a lot more information. So there's a lot more collaboration going into the future.
And by using some of the external companies, and like Panos was just highlighting there, we can actually take on more work as well. So we can do one film in-house while we're actually collaborating with another film externally. So that helps us do both things. And having a team in-house is very important to us. It's working closely with the architects. We can actually develop our skills and our designs and actually have those faster iterations on projects as well, so that we can really feedback to the clients, to our clients are our architects, actually feedback their designs very quickly, and also meet their deadlines. Their meeting deadlines is very important to our work.
Okay, so would you say your work is, in terms of the balance, is more design exploration, so versus studios like mine or others like D-Box and Squint Opera and others, they do the market, like the final marketing images. Would you say you do more of a design follow-up?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think we're much more ingrained in the design process, so we can go do a lot of those iterations and more artistic images. And if we are after marketing images, absolutely. There's people out there in the wider world that actually are doing very higher level marketing images, and it makes sense to go and use those and to actually for that marketing process. So yeah.
So being internal, we get to talk with the partners who are in charge of these jobs, find out what their project management timeline is for the entire project and when can we get involved, and we don't have to put all our effort, all our eggs into one basket for this date. Why don't we just go up to here and then we'll do something here, and there's a halfway point. It's not just what they say, it's we work with them to make our lives easier and get the best result for them. Otherwise you're just going to work everyone into the ground, it's the wrong result and no one's happy. So there's a lot of to and fro in between what I mentioned in the presentation, between the top four in our team, Gamma, myself, Clark and Johnny, on how to work with partners.
Okay, so over the years when you grew the team and had your workflows put in place, what three things you can offer us that you learned during that process that we might not be aware of, given the advantage of working inside an office like Foster's?
Honesty, being honest with your client up front, let them know a little bit about how you feel and what your artists are capable of doing in the time. Otherwise, if you offer them the world, they're going to want it and more, and then you set yourself up for a big fall.
Yeah. Always undersell yourself and over-deliver.
Well, that one we know. Okay, so you're hiring, I guess. So in terms of the candidates, if you can offer them like 3 tips, what they need to do or to show to capture your attention.
I think it's really important. There's a couple of things that we always look for. One, obviously, if you've been selected to come for an interview, we've looked at your CV, so you've obviously got a certain skill set. So really then it's about how you can fit within our design team and the rest of the guys actually working with us. So we're obviously looking for, fill certain slots within our process. So whether it's for still images or whether it's for the animation team, we are looking for certain people. So it's key that, one, you've got the skill set to do it. I'd rather have more of an artistic person, because I think it's easier to teach artistic people the technical skills than it is to teach a technical person artistic skills.
What things they don't know is the opportunities that they have once they're in the office to grow, to look at other things, to do their R&D, do their personal things after work, as long as it doesn't affect deadlines. But there's lots of opportunity, not just to stay doing what you're doing, but we've got 5 different disciplines, and sometimes you become a bit of a generalist, not just doing that particular role that you've been hired to do, but to filter into other teams. And the best projects that we have, and I enjoy, and everyone enjoys in our team, is when we all collaborate on one big film. We have the still image guys helping out the motion graphic guys, helping out the look and feel for the animation team, and then the compositor at the end, and everyone all just mixes together. Sometimes when we have the right project with the right amount of time.
Just one other thing as well, I think, we're always a team that's learning. So when the people come, we want people who are keen and want to knowledge base. So we are being an external people expert. So we had a session with Pixar and storytelling. So we're always learning and want people to know that actually it's not just something that you've come, I've honed all my skills, that's it, I've finished, now I'm an expert at everything. It is always about learning, and that's the process we're always keen to sort of push with everybody.
So if I continue that kind of line about learning, what it is that you think in Foster's right now is going to be the standard or something to explore looking 2, 3, 5 years ahead that we don't know right now. So any kind of insight about that?
So, things that you don't know right now, it's difficult to answer that particular part of the question, but in our team we've always been looking at different ways of doing things and the latest and greatest, and there's 25 of us always looking for the next best thing. So we're all in our way looking for the golden answer of what are we going to be doing in 5 years, and then in 5 years' time we always look back and go, we were actually doing that 5 years ago. So the current things we're doing in house now will become the norm, and we're doing a lot of real time. Is the answer, I think, from me.
Yeah, I mean, again, we are collaborating with a lot of graphics card people. We're doing a lot of stuff with games companies as well. And again, I mean, we're fortunate in the sense that the name does open doors to us, and people actually want to come and work with us. And Panos is right. I think the real time, GPU rendering, all those sort of things. Anything that gives you quick feedback, yeah, because time is critical, not just for us, for clients, for everyone else. So it's bridging that time gap. So if you can actually show your client very quickly, this is what the design is. Again, like I said, our architects are our clients, so we can show them their schemes very quickly in the spaces and volumes. That will help the whole design process go quicker.
So one thing I'm curious about, and it came up at the Tim Hoffman presentation. I mean, obviously, Foster's is designing buildings in London for a long, long time. So, do you have some kind of secret entire London model already made that you just drop building in or don't you?
No, we have access to a very high detail model. It wasn't our model; it was a model from an external thing that we purchased. And again, we licensed that, and certain areas that we need to then highlight, then we do that. But we don't just build in London. 80% of our projects are overseas. So again, that's always a challenge. Depending on which city we're building in, sometimes it's in China when there's nothing there at all. So it's always a challenge.
Okay, so thank you very much. It was a pleasure, and we'll see you in the next interview.